Good morning, boys and girls. The reason why we tap out sounds is because it helps us to read words, and we write trick words in the air, and that helps us to memorize them. This all helps us when we read and when we write. So in a minute, I'm going to sit down and we're going to read a story together, and then we're going to fill out a chart. This will help you to answer questions about the story. We are going to read a story today about Fred the Frog. Here's the title, Fred the Frog. If you notice, the important words in the title have a capital letter. That happens with all stories. Okay? So, whenever you have trouble with a word, of course, you tap it out. Here's the name, Fred. We could tap it out if we're stuck. Fred. Fred the Frog likes to hop and jump. This scooping shows us how we could read it a little bit more smoothly or fluently. Fred the Frog likes to hop and jump. He hops over the twig and he jumps on the grass. He is quick. He jumps over the mud and between the two dogs. He jumps on the steps. Then I did not see him. Where did Fred go? Did Fred hop up on that bench? Yes, he did. Then he went into my hut. A hut is a small house. Did Fred hop up on my bed? Yes, he did. Yuck! Get off, Fred. Now, I'm going to put this online and you're going to practice reading it maybe 2 times or even more to practice it, okay? But I'm going to ask you, you can call out the answers. Who are the characters in this story? I'll give you a minute to think about it. Okay, the main character is Fred the Frog. Do you know why I have a capital F for Fred? If you said that it's because it's his name, you are right. We always capitalize the first letter in somebody's name. Okay? Are there any other characters in the story? There are dogs in the story. Okay? Then, we don't know who the person is, but there is a person because at the end of the story, Fred goes into somebody's hut and jumps up on the person's bed. Okay? Now we're going to look at the setting. Does anybody know where the story takes place? Okay. We're going to say outside on the grass. Okay. And also, he did go into the hut later. But most of the story takes place outside on the grass. Now, what are the main events in the story? Let's think about this. First, what happened? Do you remember? Fred, what? Hops over the twig. Now, what if I forgot how to spell hops? Well, first we'll tap out the base word. Oh, I know that's H-O-P. And then I have to put my suffix S, right? Hops over. Oh, that's a trick word. We already have that memorized. We can't really tap that one in. Over. The is a trick word that we have memorized. Over the grass. Oh, I'm sorry, over the twig. T-W-I-G. That's T-W-I-G. Hops over the twig. And he jumps on the grass. What happens next in the story? He jumps over the mud and on the steps. Now, if you notice, every sentence I'm writing here, these are full sentences. These were not full sentences. These were just my ideas. But I start the sentence always with a capital letter, and I end it with a period. Okay, and then what happened last? Fred went into, that's made up of two words, in and to, the hut. If we're stuck, we tap it out. Hut. Fred went into the hut and on the bed. Okay? Those are the main events in the story. So now, when this video turns off, I'll bring Baby Echo back. When we turn the video off, you practice reading the story a few times, and you're going to answer a few questions. Good job, everybody.